Hello my friends and welcome. This channel is all about helping you find a path to a career in interactive entertainment. In other words, helping you become a player in the game. Joining me today, Unreal Development Grant Award recipient, founder of Red G Studios, Jordan Davenport. Jordan, thank you very much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Jordan, some of our viewers, we've already done a couple of videos about this already. We've discussed the Unreal Engine Development Grant, and if you'd like to see more about that, follow the link in the description below, or perhaps a card. But what we'd like to talk about now is your role as level designer within Red G Studios. Do you think you can tell some of our members of our audience what it takes to be a level designer? What really comes to mind when you're like, if somebody wanted to be a level designer, what is the most important thing that they need to take home?
Absolutely. The first thing I would say, and the first thing I have told people, is to see it before it happens. A lot of the times I will take screenshots of just a solid room, just what I think is going to be in there. And then I'll think about it for 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'll even play some music to kind of give the vibe and give the theme of the room. So if there's a horror room that I'm making, I'm going to, picture it and be like, what color do I want the room to be? Or how many objects do I want in the room? What do I want the floors to be rugged, or do I want the walls to be destroyed, or anything of that nature? I would just say, like, the biggest thing is to see it before it happens, because if you go into it and you just try to make something and not have a real vision or have a real purpose or a real goal behind it, you'll end up picking it apart. And admittedly, I do that all the time as well, but I think at least I stick to the core value that I have for the room that I had in the first place.
Jordan, I'm sure my viewers appreciate that, but could you share with them a little bit more about, again, you were a small studio,
yes.
A crew of 3 if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And you by yourself can do level design, coordinate with your software engineer and make sure everything works out well.
Yes.
Can you compare and contrast how a larger development crew might have roles available for people that want to do level design specifically?
Yes. The one that I've seen that's been like the biggest was Red Dead, and they had a team of like 30 people who did just lighting. And I know a lot of people, even in the reviews and like people commenting in the comment sections, were like, oh my goodness, this lighting is like amazing. I know for a fact that's like one of the big ones. There was lighting, there's prop placement. I've seen a lot of people do prop placement all over the maps and whatnot. And then you've just by those 2 alone, and then you try to put that on one person, it can get a task that is meant for 30 to 35 people on a large scale game. Even at a small studio, for one person, it's still a lot. I would even say at a small studio, I would probably want to put 2 to 3 people on that, because a lot of the times, like I said before, in the level design part, you can get lost in what you like compared to what other people like. So that's why I think having more faces and having more people working on the level with you is pretty important. But I think for the most part, as long as you just believe in your project and you kind of just stick with what you got, you'll be okay. But back to your question, so I know there's animation, I know there's prop design, I know there's level design, I know there's lighting, I know there's rigging of the animation, there's storytelling. So there's a whole bunch of parts that are in these bigger studios that are not in these smaller studios. So it goes like back into the revolving door, where you go right back to, you're going to wear a lot of hats and you're going to have to complete a lot of tasks.
True story, true story. Well, those larger studios have the funds to do that, and they have the personnel to do that, and their theme is admittedly different, because there's a lot of level design that happens even in 2-dimensional space. But what you're working on, South of Nowhere, is psychological horror, a little bit different. Would you be willing to come back and tell us a little bit more about your game? In fact, would you like to come back and tell us all about your game?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. My friends, Jordan's going to come back and tell us all about his game, South of Nowhere. If that's something you'd like to see, then by all means, please do consider subscribing for more content like that coming real soon. If you cannot wait that long, YouTube has hand-selected a video for you on the left, and I put together this entire interview process for your perusal on the bottom left. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.